is can I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
You
I'm
feeling it?
I'm feeling it.
All
I want
right.
to hear.
All right.
Let me get my.
All right.
You know, I had to get my rhythm. I'm
Yes.
not naturally motivated. I'm ready. Go.
Yeah. So let me see. It's called Confidence of the King. Yeah. So it's hold your head. Let me drink some water first and get it.
It ain't spiked, is it?
No.
Okay.
It's like, hold your head up high when you walk, have pride. They must know you contain more knowledge than these guys. See them, they just dumb. You can view it in their eyes. They know you're going to be successful, so I see who they despise. But why? Why do they hate and try to ruin your dreams? It's because they know you only one fit to be a king, it seems. But they hate on you for all the wrong reasons. Pretend that they're your friends, switch up on you like the seasons do. So take this as a lesson from me to you. I'm just speaking on the things that I've been through. So stay true and never be phony. Keep your mind on success and your hand in the money. With your head in the books, you blow past these dummies. Close your mouth, open up your ears, you can learn something from me. Because I'm smart-ish, and I speak on my own. Pay attention to the confidence of a king, not his crown and his throne. So that was when I was like, okay. Like, that was a life-changing moment. I was like, man, like, I felt good on that one, but
you should. I mean, the people right here in the studio are feeling it.
Yeah.
The confidence of a king.
Yeah.
Did you just say, let's do it, Jamal?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. It is time. We are in the place. It is the Jumpstart Talk Show with me, DeeMcNair. I'm on the air with the mighty man.
Yes.
Jamal.
Yes.
Let me say it again. Jamal
Meyers.
Woo, woo, woo. And you know, for those who are a little young, you may not remember The Lion King, but there was a little scene.
That's my favorite movie, by the way.
Yeah, and do you remember when he said, say it again?
That's what I thought about. Yeah.
That's right. So you're ready for me to start it? He said, let's do this. Everybody, it's the Jumpstart Talk Show with DeeMcNair. I'm on the air and I'm riding high. Not on anything, just because I'm in the place with Jamal Meyers. What's up, man?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Yo, couldn't do nothing
I know,
less.
right?
Got a rap.
Yes,
Got a
yes.
jumpstart to talk.
Yes.
Well, you know what we do? We jumpstart to talk. We talk about what you want to talk about.
And keep it real.
We talk about what you don't want to talk about.
Yes.
And brother, everything. I mean, it's kind of like the Old Testament when it says, and it's marvelous in our eyes.
Okay.
I would say to you, it's like when you stood on stage, had God allowed you to open your eyes.
Man,
Remember Moses couldn't look upon God?
Yeah.
God said, if you look upon me, it was too much power, too much awe.
Mm-hmm.
God wants you to arrive when you're supposed to arrive, not before your red carpet, not before the limo, not before the armor guards.
Mm-hmm.
He wants you to arrive at your time. So maybe that first time your eyes was closed, but in that moment, it was too marvelous for you to see it in your natural eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But he allowed you to see it in the spirit, feel it by the spirit, and out of the mouth of 1, 2, 3, it was confirmed. Jamal, that was dope.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say to you. That was dope.
That was dope.
I mean, when you said that, I thought that's not a negative. It was so marvelous
Yeah.
that God couldn't let you see it yet.
Yeah.
Just like he told Moses, you can't handle it
He's
if
still
you see
surprising
it.
me. That's the thing.
But does
he's
God
still
ever
surprising
stop?
me. Yeah, nah.
No, he don't
That's the
ever
homie.
stop.
That's the homie.
That's the homie.
Yeah.
And you know, God's a king himself.
Uh-huh.
But homies don't sit up on their throne and leave their brothers hanging, do they?
No.
So he sent his son Jesus.
Yeah.
And when Jesus came down, he said, I'm not only your bro, I'm your uncle.
Yeah.
I'm your pappy.
Yeah.
I'm your daddy. I'll be your mama.
Yeah.
I'll be your sister. But better than that, I will show you just how dope I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's marvelous in my eyes,
Yeah.
but it's too marvelous for you to see now, Jamal.
Mhm.
So I want you to just sit back, take it step by step, pace by pace, and I can tell you, King, you have arrived.
Mm-hmm.
You have arrived.
Well, thank you.
You have
Thank
arrived.
Yes.
Because I feel the love, and I think that's what I've always just been in awe. Because women so often say, and you know we say it, ladies, and I don't be male bashing, but we say, oh, men don't know how to love.
Uh-oh.
You know what? Maybe we don't know how to receive love as a nation. Because if we knew how to receive love, maybe some of the lyrics we think are so negative in rap wouldn't have to be written.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, love is out there,
Mm-hmm.
but how do we embrace it? So you write, you know, you're thinking it's not too good,
Mhm.
but you and your daddy are freestyling in the car, and I met the man,
I could beat
Mr.
him
Myers.
now. I could beat him now.
Mr. Myers, if I may say, no comment. Right there, no comment, no comment, no comment.
Shout out, Pops.
You better shout
The
out
whole
Pops.
fam, the whole fam.
I tell you, we might need to, I wish we could flash a pic of him up there. I
Yeah,
think
right.
everybody would be like, I think he already got the armor guard already.
Yeah, right.
'Cause
Exactly.
He's the man.
Exactly.
And mama ain't too bad herself.
Yeah,
I
nah.
know about grandma,
Nah.
she's packing on.
Yeah.
No weapon formed
Yeah.
against you shall
Yeah,
prosper.
and that's actually how I got my name from my grandma.
You're kidding.
Yeah. Well, as far as my performance name.
Oh, wait a
Yeah.
minute, ladies and gentlemen, we have a breaking announcement.
Dun,
The
dun, dun, dun.
performance name
Yeah.
is no longer GaMal.
Yeah.
It's no longer Mr. Myers.
Mhm.
It is
Mighty Quinn.
Mighty
You go get
Quinn.
the shades. Come on, that's like the Mufasa, Mighty Quinn.
He said it with
Mighty
too much love. Let's see,
Yeah.
Mighty Quinn.
Yeah, Mighty Quinn.
Oh, I like that. Hold, say it again, Mighty Quinn.
Mighty Quinn.
He's coming on
Mighty,
the wind.
Mighty Quinn.
See, Mighty Quinn. He's coming on the wind.
Yeah, yeah.
Mighty Quinn.
Mighty Quinn.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I'm feeling. I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
So-
talk to grandma about that.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
Grandma, cool.
Mhm.
She dope as hell.
Yeah, and it started off like when we were just hanging out. We went to the museum one day, and then after that's when I had locks. And I was on my
I should
reggae
snatch that head
vibes.
off that head. He had locks.
Yeah,
y'all.
no, don't do that. Don't do that.
No comment. No comment.
But yeah, I had locks, and my grandmother, I remember we were at the gas station, and then she was like, "You've grown into a bright young man." I was in college and everything still. It's like sophomore year,
Mhm.
but she says a lot of people don't make it to pass freshman year or pass the
Amen
first
to that.
semester.
Mhm.
But she knows that I have the spirit of perseverance.
Mhm.
And so she has spoken. It's all because like my family speak those things within me that I'm able to do these things, which I do. But like the conversation that we had, she said, you remind me of one of the men that I looked up to while growing up, and everybody called him Mighty Quinn because she said that was before the movie. And I was like, it's a movie? She's like, yeah, Denzel.
Okay, I noticed something. There's a movie.
Yeah, like she said,
Ooh,
okay. Yeah, she was like, yeah, it's Denzel. She's saying, I see you on your reggae vibes with the lights and everything, Jamaican and everything. And I was like, man, like that is pretty cool. But when she said Mighty Quinn, my middle name's Quincy.
Mhm.
So I was like, Mighty Quinn, because before, one of the things, if people do not know, if you're a musician and you're trying to find a performance name, you go through the worst of names until you find the right one. So when she said Mighty Quinn, I was like, whoa, like that's actually dope. Like
It resonated with your
I
spirit.
struggled with my rap names. I'm not even gonna say any of them.
Please
but
don't.
It was so
I'm not sure I
horrible.
want to hear them either.
It
The
was
way
so horrible.
he's fidgeting, for those who can't see, I don't think we
I
wanna
am,
know.
but nah, but Mighty Quinn, we arrived. And so shout out to my grandma for that. I definitely, if it wasn't for that, I probably would have just been on the past names, but it just also speaks, it speaks volumes, like with the name Mighty. I looked it up because I didn't just, I'm a big person on research. I
Amen.
looked it up, I didn't just went and ran with it, but it means like great and powerful. So it's like, by saying Mighty Quinn, it's like I'm speaking life into myself. It's like, okay, I'm great and I'm powerful. And I'm black, great and powerful.
Are you sure you black?
I'm black.
I say that because so often black people talk about how downtrodden, oppressed, and busted and disgusted the people of color are.
Mm-hmm.
And I like what you said. Your family
Mm-hmm.
speaks life, success, joy, protection, strength into your life.
Mm-hmm.
People of color, look at what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to change the raps you're rapping to yourself,
Mhm.
that you're rapping in the household,
Yeah.
that you're rapping on the street, in the workplace, in the schoolhouse. Change what you're saying, because Jamal and I were talking about him coming on the show, but now I've got Mighty Quinn sitting here with me, and Mighty Quinn and I had a conversation about like, how did you get here? I did not get here by myself. I had some people. I had a wonderful husband who was patient I hope I don't test his patience now. I hope he's still wonderful.
Just not mention Tupac.
Well, to be honest, okay, I'm gonna give you all something that might be dope. I am one of those people that though my skin may be a bit tan, people didn't think I knew I was a person of color. And because I could find beauty in anyone and anything, Denzel is not one that I think is all that. Sorry, ladies, he ain't all that. My husband used to wonder, he said, is there a black man that moves you, baby? And I had a guest on just a few weeks back, and we were talking about when you're a Christian, growing up in the church, and you're a lady, and you're prim and proper, educated intellectuals. Denzel is all some people thought they could have. And he kept on, and one night, he said, babe, come on now, there ought to be one brother. I said, well, if you must know, I said, let me show you. And I brought it up on the screen. And I made sure I got the right Tupac picture. Y'all ladies know, Tupac got some dope pictures out there. But there's that one that speaks to you. Because we still say, sanctified and full of the Holy Ghost, speaking in tongues. But I'm still human. So I brought up for him this picture, and then I turned the laptop around. And when he saw it was Tupac, you know what he said? I knew you'd have taste. You tell me I ain't mad. I married the right brother. I married the right brother. I married the right brother.
Yeah.
And so I think it allowed him to see I do have a human side. If Denzel played in the movie Mighty Quinn, I don't know if I'll see it, just because I don't think Denzel's all that. But Tupac was a young man that back in my day, and I come from a long ways back, but I will say that even though a lot of people think I'm an intellectual to the point I don't know music, I'm an old school girl. But my husband was, he was quite shocked to find out I used to be very much a fan of the overweight lover Heavy D. Why? Because a king knows who he is. If you go back, I am all about research, so I don't be digging people and not dig in, because I don't want to be giving honor where honor is not due. I went back. You won't find much dirt on Heavy D. And surprisingly, even though everybody thought Tupac was so bad, he did a lot of good alive, and he's still doing good now that he's gone. This was not a brother who was filthy, dirty, laying in the street.
Not at all.
This is a man who loved and loved deeply. He respected and respected highly. And even when his own brothers trashed him, they got away with it for a while. And when he had peace to speak, he spoke his peace and he moved on. So for anybody out there who thinks I'm less of a lady, less of an intellectual, less of a Christian, because I can see the king in any of God's men, go back, read your Genesis. Man was created in the beginning. And when God created everything, he said it was good. And I don't blame a woman, but we know we can tempt a man. And when the man was tempted because he loved her so much, he too allowed that bite of the apple. But if we are the helpmeet ladies, we can fix that and not tempt him and be his good thing and help him sit on his throne and us as his queen. Okay, that's my little piece there, because I don't like male bashing. But so often I feel with rap, the men are getting a bad rap. The women get out there and we say they dogs, she's not being a lady. But the brothers, they get a bad rap for rapping. But they're just telling the truth. They're telling what they see, what they feel, what they know, what they love, what they hate. And if they don't tell those stories, they may become one of the statistics that is dead, killing, or hung out on drugs, alcohol, domestic violence, something. Rap tells the story.
It does.
Now you said poetry and spoken word. What's the difference? You all didn't think I could have, did you? I'm talking to a professional. What's the difference? Rap, spoken word, poetry. What's the difference?
So poetry is what I was doing at first, writing and not sharing. Writing and not sharing. That means just writing it's like a journal. Poetry, you keep that to yourself. That's how I look at it. But when spoken word, you before people, you perform, and you add feeling to the words, because people can read, and just like a text message, you can read something different than somebody else, but as far as with spoken word, you have to give off a feeling. You have to leave people with the feeling in which how you yourself, the creator of the words, had interpreted while you were writing. You know, and like that's a powerful thing, and so that's that, and rapping is rapping. Yeah.
So for you, it's a little different. So I would say poetry for some is like Maya Angelou and Langston Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
But Langston Hughes wrote his poetry.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate it now.
Mm-hmm.
Maya Angelou wrote her poetry, but because she spoke it, we appreciate it today and forevermore.
Mm-hmm.
But then you come to our Tupacs and our Mighty Quins, and they wrote it when they were too shy to share it.
Yeah.
They spoke it
Yeah.
when it was too big of a feeling to hold it. And they rapped it when they wanted to tell the history of the feelings of those who were too shy and too hurt to tell the story. So you have written these stories from a young age.
Yeah.
Now you're starting to speak these stories out. We're getting ready to roll into that next phase of rapping.
Yeah.
Now what about the melody to this rap? How's the melody gonna come along?
It actually goes off of feeling like that. Like from what I said earlier, if it doesn't touch my soul, I can't listen to it. Like
Are you writing your own music?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And I sing
I'm jealous.
when
I'm
I
jealous.
feel
Envy,
it.
strife. I'm
When
jealous.
I feel it, I sing, but I can't.
I'm not gonna sing. I'm not
even going to say I can't because my grandma told me not to say that.
I didn't say I can't.
know?
I just said I'm not singing.
You know.
There are people in the audience. I'm not auditioning.
Nah,
for
it's
that
just
one.
vibes. It's vibes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I vibe to it, like, I've run songs by my sister and my brother.
You actually
and
like
just-
your sister?
Huh?
You like your sister?
Oh, yeah. She's dope. Dope. That means good. Thumbs
Look,
up.
he's trying to clarify. We all know what we felt over here now. I know your sister's dope because your sister's actually a blessing to us in the studio as well. But you feel it and you run it by your sister. Now, what if she doesn't feel it?
You talking about the singing? 'Cause she
Well,
doesn't.
the beat. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I have so many family members who say I can't sing, but apparently it's a blessing and a wonderful sound to people when I do sing, because when I sing to anyone, they don't give me a hard time. It's only those people in the closest circle. So there's the outer court, the inner court, and the Holy of Holies. Jesus even had to shake the dust from his feet because those who he should have received him didn't receive him. I am like your grandmother. Don't say you can't. Don't say you won't. If you can't appreciate it, it wasn't meant for you. So we just keep on rolling with that. But with your sister, if she's not feeling the vibe, the beat, the lyric, does that mean it's wrong and you're not gonna do it?
No, because I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want yes men around me. I don't want yes men around me. Like, I love the fact that she's genuine. Like, she speaks up. She speaks up whenever it's like, okay, I'm not feeling that, or yeah, I am feeling it. But and like that's how my family is. If it's something where if they don't agree with it or they do, they own up to it. They don't hide it, and it's like that makes me it makes me sharpen my penmanship because I'm like, okay, you don't like this, and then if I be like, okay, I can do better, then I could possibly go back, change the rhyme, or if I feel confident on it, I'm like, I challenge them, like, yeah, nah, that's it. I said, watch it work. Watch it work. And then they were like, oh, now that it's with the beat, it's dope.
Well,
But,
some folks are moved by what they feel
and
what they see.
Yeah.
But the heart can tell it that it be.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I like
so
that.
for those who don't know, I'm messing with Mighty Quinn up here. No, I am not a rapper. No, I am not a writer.
But she got bars.
But spoken word has always appealed to me because I think the difference for me with spoken word and poetry is that a lot of people think poetry has to rhyme. And I think poetry is its greatest when it doesn't rhyme. And I like spoken word because spoken word allows you to do exactly what you said. You can tell the heart, the mind, the spirit, the soul. You can tell people life and death in your words. And that's what spoken word to me is. Speak life or speak death. And death is not bad, by the way. Sometimes you need to speak death to some things in your life. And spoken word will allow you to confess that I'm speaking death to these things that are, tearing me down. And, I'm playing with the words because I agree with you. Sometimes people don't feel it. They don't see it. But you've got to also know as a king, what has God called you to say? What has God called you to do? And I've heard you mention more than once about your family speaking into you and faith. Does faith have anything to do with it?
All the way.
All the way.
All the way. Like, whenever I finish writing a piece, I always say God first, even if the song's bad and wouldn't be accepted in the eyes of the morally right Christians, as if people don't live. Like, because like my music isn't always good, you know, but then again, always have messages within them. That's what it is. But I can't hold back my art. But nonetheless, whenever I finish writing a piece, I literally pray to God and I say thank you for bestowing this talent upon me. And it's like however I feel about it, I just say thank you because He released it to me. So that's me releasing it back to Him, acknowledging Him. Because if I don't, then it could go.
It could go.
It could go. So yeah, my faith is big. It's a big thing. Like I don't just shy away with it just because I'm a rapper. I know like it's hard to like in the world they be like, okay, secular music, as if secular just like demons and stuff, and the music is bad and how it's portrayed, but it's literally freeing. Like it's freeing. It's art.
It's art.
And everybody ain't gonna like it, but I got respect for my king. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody didn't like Jesus.
No.
But that didn't keep it from living, dying, and rising.
Exactly.
You know, you talked about research, and I had someone, I love the meaning of names. So for those who watch, I love my little doggies, and I looked up the meaning of every name of every dog. I have one that, I won't say the name, and there's a reason. I don't say a lot of names, because sometimes you just don't need to blurt out, but I had a reason for that name. But someone once said to me, well, if you got all of that in depth, you know, to research of names, what about your own? And my birth name actually means Mary of the Sorrows in Spanish. And someone said to me, there's nothing very positive about your name. I said, well, you must not know my king. And they said, what? I said, because his mother happened to be named Mary. And I don't know about you, because it was a female, and she's a mother. I said, if you saw your son hanging up there on the cross, pierced in his side, with thorns on his head, blood and water going from his body, I hope you would have some sorrow. I said, but the story didn't end. They just forgot to add to it that on the third day, it was joy, unspeakable joy. So I might have a name that tells the beginning of the story, but God let me live to show you the end of the story. He lives. And I tell people, I do think my parents, you know, named me the right name, even if they didn't consciously know it. God knew what I needed to be named, because it gave me an opportunity, because at a young age, people knew the meaning of my name, to prove my God, Lord, that I'm not going to be a sorrowful person. And as you said, this show, the Jumpstart Talk Show, is where we jumpstart the talk. We talk about things you want to talk about. We talk about things you don't want to talk about. It may be rap music that you don't think is dope. We talk about those things in between, which is rap music is dope, God is still king, but when you put the two together, it's a wonderful thing.
I told y'all she had bars. I told y'all she had bars. I told y'all she had bars.
But all of that said, that's why we have the Jumpstart.
Hold on, I gotta breathe. That was some bars. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Breathe.
I'm listening.
Breathe. When you tuck the breath in, it won't sin. When you left the breath out, there was no doubt. It was DeeMcNair on the air. Y'all gotta watch Lion King. If you have not watched Lion King, you would know what we're feeling up here. Lion King is dope. But I don't want to end because time's running out. But you know what, guys? This is a two-part because there's so much coming back to this podcast. You know, you talking to your sister. She let it slip. Podcast.
Podcast.
It's coming down the pipe.
That'd be dope.
It's coming down the pipe.
It is.
Can I go in that
Not
way?
before the music though. I gotta focus. I can't waste time. That's all it is.
You can't waste time.
I can't waste time. So new music's coming very soon. New music coming soon.
Well, I know we've got a lot of local venues.
So
for those who are not on the East Coast with us, it's all right. There's a thing called a plane. And you can come on down and do your thing.
To the greatest city.
Mighty Queen.
Bull City.
He's going to be flying on the wings. And I have already got my wings, and I'm ready to take flight. Because it's going to be sweet.
It's going to be dope.
It's going to be dope. It's going to be dope. Guys, this is not over.
No.
But Mighty Queen, can I get you back again?
Yes, definitely.
And when you come back,
definitely.
are you gonna be packing?
Yeah.
And we're gonna get to hear a
Yeah.
little bit more
Yeah.
from Mighty Quinn.
Uh-huh.
Because we're gonna, everything decent in order, preparation plus
Mhm.
opportunity equals success. That's something from our spiritual house, if you've never heard that.
Mhm.
So it's not Dee's original, I just say it a lot. And by the way, shout out to you, Pastor Brenda,
There
because
you
it's
go.
not my original, it's
There
not
you
my
go.
original. But Mighty Quinn, can I get you back?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I
This was
like
fun.
it.
This was really fun. I don't want it to end, but
Oh, and it's
You
not
know,
ending. You know what's
yeah.
about to happen?
what's up?
When you are a king, sitting on your throne, looking down at your kingdom, you recognize
Yes.
that your servants
Yes.
all have a need. And a king is wise enough to know that sometimes he's got to come down off his throne
Mhm.
to minister to that need.
Yeah.
Well, here in the studio, we got some people who have a need. And as a servant of the Most High King, I'm going to minister to that need. But once the king has ministered to the need, don't he come back up on his throne?
Mhm.
So tell you what, Dee the servant is going to get ready to take us off the air. I'm going to have Mighty Quinn's information at the end, along with mine. I'm going to put mine small because when you're a king, you've got to be big.
Don't
But-
do it like that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mighty Quinn. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
This
Anytime.
is GaMal Meyers.
Anytime.
You're going to see him on the airwaves.
Yeah.
And I said, see him, because anything this marvelous, your eyes won't be closed. They'll be open. It's going to be marvelous in your eyes. You're going to
Yeah.
see him on the air all around the world.
Yeah.
And he started at a little place called Durham, North Carolina.
Mhm.
It's little because he's big.
Mhm.
And oh my gosh,
But
I need
God's
to take a
bigger.
swig of it. Come
God's
on,
bigger.
send it over, send it over. Watch us every week, everybody.
Yeah.
Tune into the critics. Connect with Mr. Mighty Quinn. Grandma, thank you. I like that, Mighty Quinn. Oh, I'm so glad you were here.
Yeah.
This was dope, everybody. Thank you for watching. Let's put the serious note on it. Thank you for watching the Jumpstart Talk
Yeah.
Show with DeeMcNair and Mighty Quinn. We were on the air, and we're not going very far. We're just flying on the wind, everybody.
Yeah.
I love you. I appreciate you, Mighty Quinn.
Yes.
Bomb is dope. And
Yeah.
as Mufasa says, do it again.
Do it again.
Yes,
Do it again.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Whatever. But I think your point about coming back to our first love,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to be prayer in the schools. When that left, it opened the door for a lot of things. When government said we can no longer reprimand our children without them calling 911, that opened up
Mhm.
a door.
Don't try.
And there's no respect, and it all